the last piece of the puzzle. We were just
Mhm.
talking about Isaiah Oliver, Ambry Thomas, the choice between them. I don't think it's a great choice. I feel for Steve Wilkes. I feel like
Mhm.
you could almost flip a coin. I mean, I guess I'd go with Ambry Thomas at this point, but that's not something I feel confident about. Ambry
Mhm.
Thomas. So, to me, it seems like the last piece of the puzzle is someone who could potentially take Ambry Thomas's spot. No one's going to can't trade for anyone. They're way at the bottom of the waiver order. They're not going to get guys like Jack Jones. I mean, that was never going to happen. He went to the Raiders. So it seems to me there's two rabbits the Niners can pull out of their hat. Two. And I don't
Mhm.
know that they're going to produce rabbits, but Samuel Womack, Darrell Luter Jr., if one of those two guys steps up and is, I don't even want to use the word good, but like solid, man, the Niners are in business. But if they don't, good teams are going to be able to exploit this.
They're finally at the position where I do feel like they are a man away. They're a corner
Yeah.
away. If we're looking
Yeah.
at defense, right? I'm not talking about for the team. I'm not talking about this is what's going to do it all, but defensively, right? They're one guy away. They're one corner away, right? They seem as though that
It's a defensive team. You can't have a
yeah,
glaring weakness if you're a defensive team.
yeah, it seems like they're one guy away. And I would love to see what Darrell Luter Jr. is going to do. I haven't seen him, but from for what we heard early on, he was going to be a clear contributor right away, especially in press man coverage, how physical he was. I just feel like that maybe these guys they train harder than they've ever trained in their lives getting ready for the league. And they're coming off of a senior year. He's had a lot of ball. So it's very natural to see why he probably accrued the injury that he sustained. But my thing is like getting him back. I don't want him back if he's almost kind of like a shell of himself. But if I would love to see what he can do on the field once they activate him. Because that's honestly, he is the corner that was supposed to usher in like the new wave of what we do on the secondary, the press man corner. That's why we got him. Right. So
Yeah.
uh I will say this about Sammy Womack. He's so long. He's built for that slot corner position. I just don't understand why they don't play him. And I don't see him enough to know why. But I really don't have I saw him in preseason, man. And every time in preseason, it seems like he's either hopping on the fumble, getting batting down the pass, either getting a pick. Like, I don't understand
Here's
why they
my
don't play him.
feeling about here's what I think. I
Okay.
think what they see is a guy who isn't good against the run, or at least they're worried about it
Mm,
from the nickel spot, and a guy who maybe commits a lot of penalties. But they don't care about that with Travarius Ward, so I don't know. Maybe that's not the issue. Maybe it's more about defending the run from the slot. You put him outside. He's fast. He's not that tall, but he's fast. I mean, he's not that much smaller than Lenore. He's pretty similar to Lenore.
I like him. I like him because he's game. I just see him like that. Like every time I see him play, he just seems like he's playing like out of his frame at like
Yeah.
200%. Right. So
As
it's like,
opposed to Ambry.
yes. Yeah, but you saw that fumble though. Like that's the
Great play.
headziest play I've ever seen him make. Like you could see that like he's waking up. Like it kind
He
of
should have
like
scored a touchdown. The only reason he didn't score a touchdown is because his team was on the
ran,
field.
bro.
The band was on
The bed,
the
dog. I was livid. I was livid. Like I just didn't understand why like moments like that make me worry about like the standard of like I feel like the Niners are that friend who you have who is like rich and you're trying to get him to understand that he's a narcissist. And as he's kind of like coming through to his realization along the way, you have to remind him don't like don't shit on the waiter. Like be nice to the person pumping your gas. Like the Niners have a hard time with like the little things. Like
Mhm,
stay off the field. All right.
mhm.
Don't fight before the game. Okay. Like
Yeah,
don't argue on Twitter. Like you
yeah,
like I just
yeah.
I don't understand.